Hello, so today I am going to review the NARS lip pencils. Now, there are 3 formulas available and I have a shade for each of them. So there's gloss, there's matte and there's a satin finish, and I thought instead of doing separate reviews I'll pile them all into one. The first formula is Satin and that looks like this. The actual tube here, or pencil, is got that very rubberized feel with a very sturdy cap. Now each of the formulas are differentiated by the ends. So you can see here for the Satin that the end it has this big solid coloured panel, a little strip of black and a little strip of coloured, and then each of the colour matches the actual colour of the pencil. So this is in the shade Biscayne Park. Just in my opinion, a nice muted coral. It does lean a little bit more on the warm side in my opinion, so I do think if you're very cool toned or very cool undertoned that this might look a little bit orange on you, but I do think it's a nice kind of beige all round colour. It is the shade I am wearing today and I do really like it. Like I said, this is the satin finish and actually I'm quite surprised to actually see it's got a bit of kind of sheen to it, and I actually do really enjoy it. Now, like with all the pencils, this is very lightweight, this is very comfortable on the lips, it's very easy to apply from the pencil, and if you get anything like that, it's very easy to remove. Now, this is vitamin E enriched, meaning it's going to add some moisture and some hydration back into lips. There's no feathering, no bleeding, or transfer anything like that. I do find longevity to be about 4 hours. I do find the shine to be the first thing that goes, so if I ever come into contact with any food or drink, that does disappear. There is a little bit of colour left over from that, which looks okay, but if I want that full bold impact colour, I got to reapply. I find this colour to be very pigmented, which I do really enjoy, so you don't really need a lot when you do apply it. It is actually very buildable. The next formula that I have is the gloss, which looks like this. Again, you've got the NARS felt tip packaging along with the sturdy cap, and again the gloss formula is distinguished by its end, which is a very solid tip and then a very thick band of colour that corresponds to the shade. Now this is in the shade Happy Days. It's a very light coverage, it's very sheer, it's a very true coral colour. I do see a little bit of shimmer in the actual tube, but when I go to apply it, I really don't see any of that. One thing about this gloss formula that I really love is the shine. It's got such a nice shine to it. It's not a very wet look, it's not a very high and shine mirror sort of effect. It's just a nice glossy finish, which I really enjoy. Again, this is very lightweight on the lips, it's very comfortable, it's very easy to apply, the colour is buildable. This formula again is vitamin E enriched, so it is moisturising. I don't find it to be at all drying on the lips. I don't find it again to feather or to bleed or anything like that. I do find longevity with this to be at the most 4 hours. Out of all the 3 formulas, this one is the one that wears it very shortest. So as soon as I come into contact with any drink or food, it wears off. The last formula that I have is the matte pencils, which look like this. Now, like with the other 2, you've got the black rubberized tube and sturdy cap here, and the end is distinguished by a solid colour that represents the shade colour. The first shade I have is Sex Machine, which is a very pink mauve colour. It does look a little bit deeper than it does on the end here, which is a bit of a surprise. The other shade I have is Never Say Never, which I would describe as a pink lily. It leans really on kind of the pink, purple lavender side of the spectrum. Again, this did come out a lot darker on my lips than I expected it to. Now the matte shades are very pigmented. They're very true to colour. They do feel lightweight on the lips, they're very comfortable. I do find them a little bit stiff to apply. I don't find them as creamy as the other two, but in saying that, they're definitely not drying on the lips. I do always use a lip balm before I wear these, but yeah, using the pencil, they're very easy to apply, and they are easy to remove. Now, because they're not as creamy, I do find them to kind of stick and adhere to lips a little bit longer than the other two formulas. The longevity to be 4 hours, a very decent and solid 4 hours. You know, again, coming into any contact with food or drink, the colour does kind of come off, but there is still a lot that is left on the lips. You can still kind of see the colour that's on there. However, I wanted that, you know, that more of a bold colour, more opaque colour. I still do have to reapply these to get that. Formulas are matte, so they're going to have a matte finish to them, which they do. Now, I don't really like matte formulas because they tend to be very drying on the lips. However, these ones aren't. Like I said before, they are vitamin rich, so they do add that bit of moisture. So I do find them to actually be, you know, very comfortable and very unlike any other matte, you know, lip product that I've tried. So I just want to show all the formulas together. So here they are. You can definitely see how each formula has its own end and how it's distinguished. These retail for $25 for 2.8 grams. The satin comes in 13 shades. The gloss comes in 10 shades and the matte comes in 19 shades. So for the price and the variety, it is pretty big and it's very decent. So you, depending on what sort of finish you're after, you definitely can find something that will suit you and you can add to your collection. Now, because the gloss is a lot more sheer in its colour, and I do find that I have to kind of build it a little bit more to kind of get that full bold colour, I do find $25 to be a little bit steep in that regards, because I am using that one up a lot more compared to the other two. In fact, I'm always having to keep reapplying it. $25 is quite a high price for a lipstick and also for a gloss. Even for, in this case, that kind of combination of the two, I do find it to be quite, you know, more of a splurge item. So that's just something to think about if you are looking at these. For the satin and matte formulas, I do find the price to be quite reasonable for how little you need and for how long the actual pencil is going to last you. Like I said before, I do find packaging very durable. I do find them quite easy to sharpen. I have just a basic normal makeup sharpener that's got a little bit of a thicker opening. So it does actually fit these in perfectly. I can find them, even though they're creamy, I do find them quite easy to sharpen. Overall, I do think that these are really great pencils. The formulas are really good, the colours are really good, the ranges of colours are really good, and they wear very well as well. In terms for a lip product, I mean, I do find the style of them to be quite easy, you know, to, especially in your rush, to grab and go. They're quite slim, they're very portable. That is it for my review, and thank you so much for watching.